Hello, and welcome to Veristall, a YouTube channel dedicated to my horror stories. My name is Brandon Faircloth, and if you like what you're about to hear, please like, share, and subscribe. This story is called Loss Parameters. What's that? I pointed to a blue line that trailed across the chart up and down. Ben looked serious as he followed my finger's path. That's a measure of happiness in the sample population. I raised a hand to cover my smile. For a 9-year-old boy, he was incredibly articulate, and in the 2 days he had been in our home, I'd already started to love him. Part of it was because he was a smart and quirky little boy that talked like a little adult and tended to dress like he was late for a business meeting. Polished shoes and jackets, clip-on ties, and slicked back hair. Part of it was because it was so clear he needed that love. He had sad, haunted-looking eyes that had clearly seen too much, likely even before the accident at the orphanage. What about that one? I pointed to a purple line that intersected with the blue happiness line in several spots. He rubbed his chin thoughtfully. That's a measure of sadness in the sample population. Patting his shoulder gingerly, I imagined I could still smell the gas wafting from his jacket's little shoulder pad. When I'd asked where he had gotten all the grown-up looking clothes, the lady at foster care had just shrugged, said it was her understanding he'd had them when he was abandoned at a fire station the year before. They told me that he wouldn't talk about where he had come from, who his family had been. One of my goals was to get him to trust me enough that he felt comfortable sharing that in time. What about the red line? He glanced up at me. That's the measure of fear in the sample population. The poor kid. The line had several spikes, shooting up at the end before the line stopped abruptly. My guess was this was his way of trying to process his time at the orphanage, and having to watch 10 of his little friends burn to death and several more suffocate as gas filled that place just 2 weeks ago. What about that one? This green line shot up at the end too. That's a measure of death in the sample population. I felt tears spring up in my eyes, and I tried to fight them back. I see. What's the black line going across right above the green one? He looked up at me again. That's the acceptable loss parameters in the sample population. As you can see from the green line, that parameter was not met in this instance. I lifted my hand from his shoulder. I should have asked more, but I was suddenly afraid to. I needed time to process and regroup first. Okay, well, dinner will be in an hour. He nodded to me as he pulled out a new piece of poster board. Good. I have to start working on my new chart. I'll be hungry again soon. Thank you for listening. If you'd like to hear more of my stories, please subscribe. You can also go to veristall.com where you can find news, updates, as well as links to where you can purchase my books. Signing up at the website will actually get you a free book as well. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.